One of the reasons I wrote the book was to influence how people think about education. Because many of the people in the book that I spoke to say that they didn't do well at school, or they didn't enjoy it at school, and many of them only discovered the thing they loved to do after they'd been in education, almost in spite of it, not because of it. Now, I mean, I don't mean to say that to be in your element you first have to have done badly at school. I mean, there's some people who do really well at school and love what school has to offer. But the point of this is that schools are, for the most part, concerned with not all types of ability, but certain types of ability. They're mainly preoccupied with a certain type of academic ability, which, capacity for a certain type of critical reasoning. And it's very important. But there's much more to human intelligence and ability than that. I think of all the extraordinary abilities that go to constitute human culture. The abilities for working with people, for working with sounds and movement, for languages, for enjoying the beauties of mathematics, not just the calculations of mathematics, for theatre, all the things that you would characterize as distinct to human culture represent manifestations of the very different sorts of abilities that we all have. And schools were never set up to look at all that. They were set up to look at or to promote certain types of ability. And part of my argument is that the future of education depends upon celebrating many different types of ability. And that's important from a personal point of view, so that individuals find purpose and meaning and find themselves in the process. It's also increasingly important for economic and social reasons. Our current systems were designed for an old economy, the old industrial economy. So when people talk as they do about reforming education and getting back to basics, all I want to say to them is, can we please do that? Can we get back to basics? Yeah. And one of the most basic things is that education is a personal process. It's not something that you can do in spite of the person you're trying to educate. That education is of people, and people are living, breathing individuals who have hopes and aspirations and motivations and values and feelings, as well as all kinds of abilities. And you have to engage them. And if you don't engage them, if education becomes impersonal, well, what happens is what's happening. You get more and more people dropping out of education, and the ones who stay in are increasingly disaffected. And the ones who get through the system find too often that they still don't know what they're good at. They're just good at what they're asked to do.